30 memorable quotes from film The Horse Whisperer, 1998, Part 2. The Horse Whisperer, 1998. Directed by and starring Robert Redford, is a poignant drama that explores healing, trauma, and the deep connection between humans and animals. Adapted from Nicholas Evans' best-selling novel, the film follows 14-year-old Grace McLean, Scarlett Johansson, who is severely injured in a tragic riding accident that also traumatizes her beloved horse, Pilgrim. Emotionally shattered and physically scarred, Grace withdraws from life, leaving her mother Annie, Kristen Scott Thomas, a high-powered New York magazine editor, desperate to help her daughter recover. Annie takes Grace and Pilgrim to the open landscapes of Montana in search of Tom Booker, Robert Redford, a legendary horse whisperer, known for his gentle, intuitive way with damaged animals. As Tom works with Pilgrim, he begins to uncover and address the unspoken pain in both Grace and Annie. Slowly, a bond forms between Tom and Annie, complicated by her commitments back home and the emotional vulnerability of the situation. Set against sweeping vistas and underscored by a quietly powerful score, The Horse Whisperer is a meditative and heartfelt film. It deals with emotional and physical scars, the complexity of love, and the redemptive power of patience, nature, and empathy. Tom Booker, and quote, I help horses with people problems, and quote, Grace, and quote, I didn't ask for your help. I didn't ask for anything, and quote, Annie, and quote, sometimes what we want isn't what we need, and quote, Tom Booker, and quote, truth is, I didn't whisper to the horse. I just listened, and quote, Grace, and quote, after the accident, I wasn't me anymore, and quote, Annie, and quote, we brought her here for the horse, but maybe it's us who needed healing, and quote, Tom Booker, and quote, horses are a mirror of your soul, and quote, Grace, and quote, how do you forgive yourself when you can't forget, and quote, Annie, and quote, she's hurting, and she's hiding, and quote, Tom Booker, and quote, you can't force a horse to trust you. Same with people, and quote, Robert, Annie's husband, and quote, what exactly are you doing out there, Annie, and quote, Tom Booker, and quote, it's not about fixing, it's about listening, and quote, Grace, and quote, Pilgrim's broken, just like me, and quote, Annie, and quote, I thought control was love, I was wrong, and quote, Tom Booker, and quote, pain has a voice, you just have to be quiet enough to hear it, and quote, Grace, and quote, sometimes I feel like I disappeared that day, and quote, Tom Booker, and quote, we don't break horses, we build relationships, and quote, Annie, and quote, you understand things without needing words, and quote, Tom Booker, and quote, the hardest part isn't the fall, it's standing up again, and quote, Grace, and quote, I didn't want to live if I couldn't ride, and quote, Annie, and quote, healing takes time, and sometimes silence, and quote, Tom Booker, and quote, it's not about taming, it's about trusting, and quote, Grace, and quote, he doesn't look angry, he looks scared, and quote, Tom Booker, and quote, fear can paralyze a horse. Same goes for us, and quote, Annie, and quote, what are we really running from, and quote, Grace, and quote, he saved me when I couldn't save myself, and quote, Tom Booker, and quote, you've got to meet the horse where he is, not where you want him to be, and quote. Robert, and quote. Is it the land? Or is it him, and quote. Grace, and quote. I just want to be whole again, and quote. Annie, and quote. Sometimes letting go is the strongest thing you can do, and quote. Tom Booker, and quote. The silence out here, people aren't used to it anymore, and quote. Grace, and quote. He listens to me even when I don't say anything, and quote. Annie, and quote. She came back to life here, and quote. Tom Booker, and quote. There's something sacred about trust. Once it's broken, it takes patience to rebuild, and quote. Grace, and quote. I used to dream of riding forever. Now I just dream of walking without pain, and quote. Tom Booker, and quote. He's not dangerous. He's wounded, and quote. Annie, and quote. Why does love feel so much like fear? And quote. Tom Booker, and quote. Love doesn't need to be loud, and quote. Grace, and quote. I used to be fearless, and quote. Tom Booker, and quote. You still are. You just forgot, and quote. Annie, and quote. I've spent so long doing what's expected. I forgot what I wanted, and quote. Tom Booker, and quote. Every step forward means leaving something behind, and quote. Grace, and quote. I want to remember who I was before the fall, and quote. Tom Booker, and quote. The land doesn't rush. It teaches you patience, and quote. Annie, and quote. You fixed what I couldn't even face, and quote. Grace, and quote. I'm not broken, just bent, and quote. Tom Booker, and quote. Even the wildest spirit can find peace, and quote. Annie, and quote. I came here to save my daughter. I found more than that, and quote. Grace, and quote. Pilgrim's okay now. And so am I, and quote. Tom Booker, and quote. Sometimes, when you find what heals you, you have to let it go.